Hi everybody, my name is Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a tag that is a long time coming. I was tagged in this anti-TBR tag months ago by Michael Nip, and I wanted to do it, but I've also been afraid. So we're finally going to rip off the band-aid, talk about a few unpopular bookish opinions. And before I start, please remember to subscribe if you are new here, and also hit the little like button down below. It really helps out my videos. Question number 1 is a popular book that everyone loves that you have no interest in reading. And I'm going to probably hurt a few people, so I know that I just asked you to subscribe, but you might unsubscribe now. So every time I see the book The House on the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, I just feel lukewarm about it. And I know that it seems everybody who reads this book raves about it, but when they talk about it, I don't know, it's like some people just sit there like, oh, it's just really cute. Like it's just a cute story. And for me, when I pick up a book, I kind of want something a little more than just a cute story. Like, I haven't really heard like, oh, this book like has a ton of substance in it. But for whatever reason, every time I see this book and I hear how much people like it, I don't feel that compelled to pick it up. So you are welcome to try to change my mind in the comments, though. I'm definitely not completely turned off to this book. It's just one of those like booktube darlings that I don't know. I just don't know if it's worth the time. So let me know what you think about that. Question number 2 is a classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading. And for this one, every time I see The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger, and I think it's because a lot of people, when they talk about this classic, say how much they hate it and how a lot of people were forced to read it in school. I didn't have to read this one in school, so I just know what I've heard from other people who did have to read it in school. So I just don't know if I will read this unless somebody says like, oh, it's an amazing classic, you absolutely have to read it. So Catcher in the Rye is my answer for this one. Question number 3 is an author whose books you have no interest in reading. And a lot of like the YA fantasy books that like were kind of really big at one point, but now they've kind of like dipped off. I'm never really interested in like going back to them. One of those is Alexandra Bracken, who is famous for the Darkest Mind series. When I heard of these books and the synopsis, like they actually did sound kind of good, but for some reason, like the covers don't grab me. They're just not high priority at all for me anymore. So at one point I was kind of like, I might like those, but now I'm just kind of like, I'll probably never pick those up. And then this is another part of the question. It says 3.2, a problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading. So I have one really, like, absolutely I will not read this person's books anymore. And this is really one of the only authors that I feel this way. I know that there are other problematic authors, but this is one author that I'm like, absolutely never. And it's really sad because I did really want to read her books, especially Mists of Avalon. And then ever since I found out about Marion Zimmer Bradley and her background, I just absolutely don't want to have anything to do with her books because it's just like, it's icky to even just think about her and her literature. It taints it, and in a way that like not a lot of other problematic authors have really tainted it for me. Marion Zimmer Bradley is going to be my answer for this one, which is a bummer because her books do look like something that I would love, but I'm not going to go into like what's problematic about her. You can look that up and find all kinds of info about that online. But yeah, this is one author that every time I see Mists of Avalon in like a used bookstore, I always go, oh, it's so sad, but I will never read that. Question number 4 is an author you have read a couple of books from and have decided their books are not for you. So I read more than a couple of Cassandra Clare books, and These, I read a lot. I read like 6 of her books before I finally was like, why am I still reading her books? Because there was enough in them as I was going to compel me to read forward for a while. And then I think I just got tired. I got tired of it. I got tired of the writing style. Cassandra Clare uses a few like key phrases and words over and over in her earlier books, especially. And so I've heard her writing is better in her later series, but like, I don't know. I'm not interested in really exploring Cassandra Clare anymore. Even her newer stuff. So yeah, it's just that she puts out so many books too, and I feel like I would have to read the previous canons before, which I read most of the Mortal Instrument series and just couldn't make it through. I just gave up like middle of book 5, which was kind of sad because I think there's 6 books in the Mortal Instrument series. And then I read the Clockwork Princess books. I read 2.5 of those. I got a little bit, well, not even halfway through Clockwork Princess, and I was just like, nah, I'm done. So yeah, Cassandra Clare is an author I'm not going to be returning to. Question number 5 is a genre you have no interest in or a genre that you tried to get into and couldn't get into. I'm going to go with a genre I've tried to get into and have had just mixed success or limited success, and that is the domestic thriller genre. Kind of all thrillers, particularly domestic thrillers. I just don't know if I'm interested in them. I like sci-fi thrillers, and some other like suspenseful thrillers I've enjoyed, but things like there's that really popular author duo, like they do the Anonymous Girl is a book that I read, and The Wife Between Us by those authors as well. They're just okay, and just find myself disappointed after reading them. What else did I try? I tried another like book of the month book that I may have actually. Do I have it? No, I think I actually DNF'd it. I'll put a picture here because I can't remember the title. But I've just tried some more domestic thrillers here and there, and I think I don't care that much usually about the plot, and usually it's centered around like unlikable characters as well, or like extremely flawed characters, and like half of the time I'm just like mad at the characters that the characters aren't good people, which is usually a big part of domestic thrillers. So I don't know, every time I see a domestic thriller now, it doesn't call to me. I do have some more that I bought and just never got to, so it's not that I won't try them again. I will probably at least try to read through the ones that I bought, but in general, I think this might just be a genre that I'm not going to be super interested in. Question number 6 is a book you have bought but will never read. And I do have one actually in my physical inventory here. It is right here. I bought this a really long time ago and still have not read it. Like even the top of the pages are even getting a little bit yellowed because it's like collected dust for so long. And that's Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I think I bought this more in like the height of when it was popular and never got around to it. And now after just hearing mixed things about the series, I have a very low motivation to pick this up. Just because I don't know if the whole series is worth it, but let me know. I know the series does have fans, and so if you are one of those fans, maybe you can talk me into actually starting this. But yeah, every time I look at it, there's always just something else that I would rather be reading, and so it just sits on the shelf. Question number 7 is a series you have no interest in reading or a series you have started and have DNF'd. So I'm going to go with the latter part of that question again. A series that I've started and I think I'm just never going to be continuing is the Throne of Glass series, unfortunately. Throne of Glass was okay as a book. It had fun parts, I will say, but just the writing was kind of iffy for me, and the YA tropes that we're all kind of tired of. And I'm just not sure, from what I've heard of how the books go as they progress, and like Sarah J. Maas in general. I know it's more romance fantasy, and that's just not a genre I'm super interested in. So I think, again, this is one of those cases where it's like there are so many other things that I just want to read more that I doubt I will be continuing in the series. So I'm gonna go with Throne of Glass. And another one is Game of Thrones. So apparently if you have throne in the title of your series, I'm not gonna read it. But Game of Thrones, I actually read 2.5 books. I think I got through the third one a little bit, and then I got tired of it. I got tired of the world. I got tired of the writing. I think I just got tired. So I don't know if I'll ever revisit Game of Thrones. This is actually one that I'm like, well, maybe I could be convinced to revisit it, but also maybe not. And then this is the last question. Question number 8 is a new release you have no interest in reading. So a popular new release that every time I see it or see someone talk about it, I'm just kind of like, meh, is The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. And this is one of those books that I don't know. There's no real reason for me to be deterred from this book. I think what happens for me with some of these super hyped popular books is that I get tired of hearing about them. And this was one of those. Every time I saw the cover, I was just like, oh, there's that book again. And then I read the synopsis and it just sounds kind of like meh to me. And then I've also heard some mixed reviews. Some people, think it's the best book ever and give it 5 stars, and then some people are like, it's overhyped. So I don't know who to listen to there. Just every time I see it, it doesn't jump out to me. The synopsis doesn't jump out to me. I just feel like very lukewarm about this one. So yeah, I know it's extremely beloved by a lot of people who have read it, but something about it, I don't know, something about it. Again, maybe it's the cover. Sometimes I get turned off by cover art, like really easily, like too easily. So who knows what it is, or it could just be that I've heard about it too much. But yeah, that'll be my answer for that one. Sorry. Thank the Lord that this is a short tag and there's no more questions. Phew, I feel like this tag could make some people mad, but let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my answers. I would love to know what you would have put for some of these. Let's talk about things we don't like. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and keep reading great books. And until next time, bye-bye.